Would you mind telling me whose brain I did put in?
And you won't be angry?
I will not be angry.
Abby someone.
Abby someone. Abby who?
Abby Normal.
This is the Abbey Normal podcast, here to tell you that you're weird, and that's normal.
Have you been to jail?
I have been to jail.
I have not, because I'm a good girl. Bad girl.
Oh! I only had to do one night in the, quote, drunk tank.
Ooh.
I know, and unfortunately, I was sober, so it was perhaps less fun than it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had 2 glasses of wine at dinner, and I got pulled over for a broken taillight.
And then they breathalyzed you?
They breathalyzed me, and I blew a .08, which is the legal limit. Hopefully everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they had to take me in. They were very nice about it. They didn't tow my car, so I appreciated that.
That's nice.
Yeah, so I didn't end up getting a DUI, but I did have a whole lot of fines and a class about drinking that I had to attend. So now I know this is different for every, like, how big your body is and what your metabolism is, but 1 drink an hour.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Will keep you within that or underneath that .08. So if you're going to have more than, 1 drink an hour, you got to call Lyft. Take a bus. Phone a friend.
There are so many more options now than there used to be.
Absolutely. There's
literally no excuse for you to drink and drive.
There's no excuse.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
And in the 90s and early 2000s, it was a little bit tough.
It was the Wild West out there.
It was the Wild West prior to Lyft and Uber's arrival on the scene.
Yeah.
And that does not excuse drinking and driving.
No.
But it was tricky.
Bless it.
Bless it. I got together with my friend Lety, and we had a lot of giggles. Apologies, we can't help it. And we talk about going to jail, being the victim of a crime, and ridiculous traffic tickets.
I am Leticia Rubalcaba Gomez Estrella Perez. And I know there's more.
We worked together.
Did we?
Very recently.
Were we working?
We worked together. But we took that personality style test.
Yes.
And you and I got the same score.
We're the same person.
We're the same person.
And it's ridiculous.
I am old and white.
Mm-hmm.
And you are young and beautiful.
I thought we were going to compare, right? Apples to apples. You're young and white. And wait, no. What did you say?
Apples to oranges.
Apples to oranges. And we just went a different direction with me, but cool. I am young and Mexican. We can clarify.
I suddenly felt weird saying young and Mexican. And then I was thinking Young and the Restless, that soap opera.
We grew up on different sides of the street. Is it the street or the city?
It's the tracks.
Oh, the tracks. We grew on different sides of the tracks. See,
We should have our own movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And suddenly it's these two. Well, what's that? West Side Story? Is it West Side Story?
Yeah.
Carmelita? What's her name?
Yeah. And then, one of them is Puerto Rican.
Yeah. An Italian or something.
Anyways, that's us.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then we come together. We're like, oh, we're the same person. And then what? You married a Puerto Rican? Me too.
Chill.
You had your master's at MPA? Me too.
Oh, you divorced that
Me too.
That's kind of where I was going with this story, which is I loved when you were talking about how fully you enjoyed jail, because I also really enjoyed jail.
And nobody understands that. Nobody understands that.
It's basically like summer camp for adults.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Except waking up for breakfast at 3 a.m. I don't know what breakfast time was for you.
6 a.m.
Mine was ridiculous.
It was too early.
Yeah, but camp, my cabin or bunkmates.
Yes.
Bunkmates, right?
Bunkmates, exactly.
My bunkmates, Letty, you're not hungry now, but you will be later. So yeah, take your little lunch pack and take it with you. And
right.
Just bring it back.
I didn't get their numbers, but I really feel like I made long-term friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have, and I was so tempted to just keep chatting with these people. They're amazing. But again, when I declined protective custody,
Yes.
the guy's like, the cop was like, yeah, you're going to enjoy it a little bit more out there.
Yeah.
But
Oh my gosh, that would have been horrible if you had to have been all alone.
that would have been worse for that amount of time.
Absolutely.
And he told me, he's like, yeah, you're gonna be a little bit more comfortable. You're gonna have to watch TV. Just don't give too much of your information out.
Okay. Like your address.
Your address, your phone number, your workplace, your real name. Just don't tell them you have brothers and that are
right.
authority or whatever. It's like, okay, got it.
Was that hard? Did you want to
Oh
be
my
like?
God, that was so hard. That was the hardest thing. I'm an oversharer.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, so what are you in for? Do I tell them or not?
Did you tell?
And I think they all assumed because they put me in with the
look,
prostitutes. They're like, girl,
they
where'd they get you? I'm like, get me? What
On
do
the
you mean? On the track.
Yeah.
It's like, no, where? I was like, huh?
No.
How did they get you? What? Like, well, I slapped my husband. It's like, see, these men, they're just starting to cry more. I be telling. And they just went on, I tell the girls, don't do it.
That's the thing.
They're crybabies now.
This is the bond in jail.
Right.
Everybody is in there because of a man in their life. So there's camaraderie there.
Right. And it was amazing.
Yeah.
I was watching girls get their hair done in there, like there was a girl that was a specialty in tweezing hair, tweezing eyebrows or that threading thing. And she was in there threading the girl's eyebrows. And there was a curling iron that one of the police or whatever you want to call them let them have. So they were in there curling their hair. And it was cool. It was during Christmas time, so this was like all the Christmas movies were playing.
Oh.
And I saw all of the Tim Allen, Christmas movies where he was becoming Santa Claus.
Right. So creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was conducting full-on therapy sessions.
For them?
Yes. I was
Really?
like, start with your childhood. Tell me every detail. We're going to
man.
talk it out. And then I would just cry
Yeah.
because their stories were sad.
I think that if I find myself in that same situation or similar, whatever other reason, maybe I'm boycotting something, I don't know.
Exactly.
I might take a different approach.
Yeah.
I might be more friendly. Tell me about it.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. I had this cop's advice in my head.
Right. He was like, be scared, be very scared. Don't say
Just
anything.
don't give them any information. They'll
Yeah.
find you later. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'd be worried that a stripper shows up at my house. Can I borrow $50?
God forbid
I don't know.
a stripper show up at your house unannounced.
So I
Next
was very
time-
sad. I was in there for
You were in there way too long, and it's horrible.
way too long.
I know we're joking about it, but
And
really,
it was-
you should not have been there.
It was time to reassess my life again, and it's a lot of
Self-reflection. It's like a yoga
Self-reflection.
retreat, really.
yeah, it was
Realign
So-
your values. Yeah.
and just let go of that anger because I was starting to feel really angry about the whole situation. But I was like, no, Letty, this is the time. Just let it roll off. Just be done with it.
Yeah. And then your case was like overturned, right? You were
Yes,
never even.
It was.
Yeah.
No. Like, this is crazy. Go home.
Ridiculous.
Thank you.
Did I tell you about the time I got a ticket for honking?
Who did you honk at? Wait a minute.
I
Wait a
was
minute.
just-
Maybe it was a valid reason.
I'm just thinking about the
Were
unfairness.
you honking at like a cute little old lady crossing the street? And the cop was like, now you're just being mean and rude.
No. I was in the Taco Bell drive-through line, and a friend was in the car in front of me, and so I was honking at them, and a cop literally walked over and handed me a ticket, and it said, quote, unnecessarily honking.
Unnecessarily honking.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't seem like it's breaking a law. Maybe it was like disturbing the peace.
Right, like he just didn't
Or-
like it. It bothered him.
There was a sign that says no honking somewhere that you missed. I don't know. That just unnecessarily honking doesn't seem
So when I went to court, I went to judge's chamber and with my father also, and we were talking to the judge, and the judge was like, "How loud were you honking?" And I was like, "Beep beep." Beep beep in the judge's chambers.
You were being specific about it. Like, I think that's as loud as it went. Like, I only pressed it like with the tip of my finger. I wasn't like, what is this? What is this part called?
The palm of your hand.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You weren't like honking with the palm. It was like with the little tip of your finger.
I wasn't like putting my whole body weight on the
punching
horn.
the steering wheel.
Beep, 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 beep.
Beep.
So the judge told me that it was at the end of the month, there's a
Quota.
Thank you. A quota that they need to have. And so the judge was getting a bunch of bullshit tickets like this.
Did he dismiss it?
Of course.
Okay.
Stupid.
Yeah, and when you get to that quota, if you actually don't show up, they will charge you for this. So they're counting on you not.
Absolutely. Because
showing up.
The cop's not going to show up for that
Yeah.
either, right? He knows it's bullshit.
He's going to come back. He's like, well, no, ma'am. He was actually going, you guys are going to go like a honking contest right there in the middle of court. I'm like, no, sir, it was beep, beep. Just imagine him arguing that one if he did show up.
Right.
Oh my gosh, I would be a petty police officer.
I mean, you should go into law enforcement.
I jokingly say this, but not jokingly. I want to apply to be the FBI so I can just like upstage my brothers.
Yeah, that's true. You should. Yeah.
Oh, you're Alameda County Sheriff? Well,
CIA, bitch.
like that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Just
Yeah.
do it for like a year just to have like, look, I did it.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay. You're just sheriff deputy, whatever.
Bronze badge.
Yeah.
I got a silver one.
Get a silver one. See, FBI. I get to go into the top secret places. I could go into Area 51. But I think I would be petty and actually show up at court and say stuff like, well, that is not how she was honking.
Uh-huh.
It was louder than that. It's like the 3-second honk, sir.
Yeah, you should not be a cop.
No.
Don't do it.
And then I don't think even if I'm saying I would be petty, I don't think I'd be able to give anybody a ticket.
No, you couldn't.
So
No, I couldn't. We have the same personality.
Yeah.
We could not be police officers.
can't.
We would be terrible at it.
yeah, they'd like
Obviously.
convince me I was doing something wrong.
I'd be like, you're right. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. Let me help you open this car. Clearly, it has somebody else's stuff in there. But you're right. You're right. I was just just assuming something, and I'm so wrong. I'm sorry. Here, let me open this for you.
Okay, but what if, so you were mugged recently.
Yes, I was mugged outside of my friend's house, coming back from Target.
So not everyone lives in Oakland, so please tell us exactly how such a thing happens.
Well, you can imagine living in East Oakland. It's dark. All the lights are broken because half of them are flickering and the other half are just not turning on. And you're in neighborhoods with not very morally correct. Their compass is pointing the wrong direction. You know, all the drug dealers live in the same corner. It's weird. Pulled up, sitting there because we were going to take our stuff out from Target because we'd just gone to Target.
Now you're saying we, but were you alone?
No, I was with a friend.
You were?
Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh.
was not by myself.
Okay. You had your precious Target bags with you.
Precious Target bags. The guy pulls up with a gun.
Wait, in a car or on his feet?
On his feet.
Okay.
I didn't see him coming from anywhere. And just pulls up to my driver's side and gun.
Hey, but did he point the gun at you?
Yes, he did.
Did he have a mask on?
He did. Completely covered.
What
Head to toe.
What did he say?
Give me your stuff. Like, oh, huh. Give me your wallet. I don't have a wallet. Or a purse. He said purse, assuming that all women carry purses.
So he's a sexist mugger as
Yeah.
well.
Like, just because I'm a woman doesn't mean I carry a purse. I did have a purse. It was in the back seat.
So you're already trying to get snarky with him.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I was like, I don't have a purse. Well, give me your keys. I was like, oh. At that point, I remember thinking like, I actually said that, like, are you serious? And then he just points a gun at me again, like right up to me and goes, I don't think you, no, he didn't say I don't think. Now I'm making him sound polite. He did not say that. And I just can't say the F word. Freaking serious. This is how serious. And you know, just move the gun closer. And I was like, here you go. I was about to unclip my little keys from them. And he's like, all of it. I was like, all of it? Okay. Here you go. Have it.
What did he even want the keys for? Like, couldn't he have just stolen your car right then?
Yeah. And I was going to keep asking him questions, but I looked at the person next to me and he was just a little bit more terrified than I was. I could see him shaking.
I mean, I'd be shaking too. I'm not judging that.
I was annoyed.
I almost feel like it would be more scary to see a friend or loved one with a gun to their head than to have it happening to me.
Maybe.
So you handed him your keys, which also included your little like wallet.
Yeah, because they carry that
right?
little card holder that carries like 3 cards. That's what he
what
got.
about your phone? Did he get your phone?
Oh, he did ask for the phone too. I am very smart, so everything is password protected and finger blah blah blah, all the good stuff to keep my phone super secure. So as soon as he said, "Give me your phone," I was like, "Let me just make sure I lock it." So I clicked the lock thing before I gave it to him. So
yeah, what the heck do they do with those?
sell it for like $50.
Like, why? Because that happens all the time. People get their phone snatched like all the time here on the street and at Starbucks.
So I was like, lock it before I gave it to him.
Are you traumatized?
Nope.
Are you sure?
2 years before that, my mom was mugged outside of our house. Gunpoint too. When they asked for her purse, she just gave him the lunch bag.
I bet there was a delicious torta in there.
There was a sandwich. It was like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And not that I would think it was any quick thinking, but so when my mom said, when he asked for my purse, I didn't tell him that the purse was in the trunk. She just said, sure, here's the closest thing that's next to me, and just gave her like her dirty lunch bag.
Yeah. Okay, so back to your situation. So did he like run away? Did he walk away? Did he hit you?
I swear
like,
he
what happened?
walked away.
He just like strolled
So
away.
casually, nonchalant. This was after he went around and took the guy's stuff too.
Do you wish that you had had a gun?
No.
Do you want
to? I wouldn't use it. Even if I had the gun, I wouldn't use it.
You wouldn't shoot him in the face?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't. I'd probably, I'm like imagining if I did have a gun, he would say, give it to me. And I'd be like, sure, here you go.
And then he would just have
I'd have 2 guns. That's how it would play out. So no, thank you. I do not wish to give him more like weapons.
Okay, now tell us the silver lining of the story.
Silver lining.
Yeah, because
there has to be something good about the story.
No, it could just be a terrible story, but I thought that you got some
me.
of your things back.
Oh, yeah, some wonderful Good Samaritan, or maybe the person that stole it in the first place. I don't know. A week later, someone shows up at the house and drops off my keys and my ID, because my ID and the one credit card, whatever, was in there.
And they just left it on your doorstep?
Yeah, they knocked on the door, which worries me because my house keys were on there. So what if my mom hadn't been home?
Oh, right, because your ID has your address on it and they're attached to your house key. Got it. Yeah, scary.
But someone did drop off the keys the next day and said, we found them at like some Trader. It wasn't Trader Joe's. It was some other grocery store in the parking lot. And so got my keys,
good.
Got my house keys,
and your
got
ID.
my cards back. They only took like the $20 that I had in there.
Jeez. And your phone that they may have gotten $50 for.
Mm-hmm. That was a nice silver lining, right? It was a good story, good Samaritan.
Actually, that's a lot of effort to pick up someone's stuff from a parking lot and literally drive it to their house.
Yep.
That's pretty darn nice.
So someone did that.
I would not do that.
I would. I found someone's wallet once and I called the number and nobody answered and I was ready to send it back to them. And they never called me back. I was like, okay, well, putting it back in the trash, I guess.
I did get someone's Christmas stocking stuffer from their dad in the mail. And I know it was their stocking stuffer because I opened the package.
Uh-huh.
So then I reached out to both of them on Facebook, like the father that sent it and the daughter. And neither one of them wrote me back.
But see, and that's that thing. I tried. I'm sorry. I really did. So I'm appreciative that this guy did that. I mean, my mom thought that I had gotten ridiculously drunk and wasted and lost my keys again. And I let her believe that just until it was ready to let her know what actually happened.
Yeah. You didn't want to tell her because you didn't want her to worry,
You want
right?
her to worry.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, I was concerned that she would, again, relive when it happened to her and all this other stuff and just be worried for her kids again.
Yeah.
I mean, her kids, her grown children.
Or her adult children. And so it was maybe like a month later that I told her because she was just giving me such a hard time about drinking. Are you going to go drinking again? Look what happened last time. You lost your keys and someone had to bring them back. At some point I was like, Mom, I can control my drinks. Okay. You know what? To tell you the truth, Mom, I got mugged that day. Then she felt bad. So it worked out all around.
Yeah. And then I went drinking.
Check.
Got it. We're cool.
Letty and I talked a couple weeks later, and something had happened during that time related to law enforcement that made us all reflect on what would you do if... You'll hear our friend Nancy Guthrie, she refers to herself as my Jewish mother, and you'll hear us refer to the captain, who is my small terrier. Oh my gosh, I had a crazy experience last week. It was 1 a.m. and I'm watching Big Little Lies all alone in my dark house. And all of a sudden I hear a woman screaming at the top of her lungs.
Where was this person?
Right out front of my house. And I also hear a man yelling at her. And she says something about being thrown around. It's going on and on and on.
Did you call the police?
Yes, I did.
Did you peek out the window first?
First I peeked out the window and I couldn't see anything. Then I called 911 because I do not fuck around with that anymore. So I call, give them the information, blah, blah, blah. And then I sit there for 5 minutes, which feels like an eternity when someone is screaming.
And
listening.
especially since the police station is
It's
literally
right there.
across the street
It's
from her house.
3 minutes away. So I sit there for 5 minutes listening to her scream and like I'm dying. And then finally I'm like, I have to go outside. Like I can't sit here if she's like being murdered and I'm just sitting here.
Did you get a water hose?
I put the captain on his leash.
So ferocious. We're gonna go for a walk, Captain.
At 1 a.m.
Probably the longest walk he's ever taken.
It's not rational, but I was like, I'm not going out alone. I have the captain with me.
So your husband and daughter are asleep.
They're asleep, yes. So I go outside and I turn the corner and thank goodness, like, because I feel like when I saw them, I was going to interpret the situation for how I would react. So they were both young, like 19. The guy wasn't that big, you know. But the girl was like on the ground, like fully curled into a ball, like crying. So I won't give you all the details, but I basically was like, hello, what is happening?
To walk up with the captain.
I did.
Hello. Tap on their shoulders. What's happening?
Here's the weirdest part. Captain wouldn't go anywhere near them. He would not go near them. I was like yanking the captain to get closer.
The vibes were off.
It was totally off. He did that thing, you know when they like get down on their haunches? They like won't move.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. They kind of like
play
sit
it
back
out.
on their feet. Like
What
I'm
does it
not.
look like?
Knows exactly what she wants to
Sure what that looks like.
Yeah, so I pretty much gave them therapy for 20 minutes. Yeah.
Individualized or
It was
like couples therapy?
Couples therapy,
And
fully.
the police are diagonally across the street.
Yeah. At the end, I made the girl get up, and then they hugged each other, and then they left holding hands, walking to their home. And as soon as they were like at the end of the street holding hands, the police showed up 25 minutes later.
Yeah, someone could have gotten
Did
murdered,
you have a,
by the way.
what for with the police?
Yeah.
Did anybody talk to the police?
I did. I was like, hello, I called you, and obviously everything is fine now.
Because
But
of
I
me.
risked my life
Literally, yeah,
to
fully.
defuse the
I
situation.
could have been murdered. She could have been murdered. So I didn't ask them, like, what the hell, guys.
Okay,
So,
so now I want to be your Jewish mother. Are you out of your mind? You can't assess by size or whatever. The guy could have a machete in his back pocket.
Abby.
Or a gun.
She is talking to you.
What? Who?
Blondie. Now you're playing blonde.
I don't care. I know I should care. That's what everyone says. I don't care.
No, I know, because I probably would have done something.
Yeah, you can't just sit
there's
there.
There's no way that
There may have been a wiser
especially-
way to approach it, but I cannot sit there.
No, but I
You
would have
just grab your water hose and you're like, oh, I don't work for my yard. You're stepping on my grass. And then
I would have. See, but before I left, the captain would not have been my first choice for defense. I would have taken him, but I would have had something else.
Yeah. Okay, like what?
I don't know. A
Yeah,
big
pepper
flashlight or
spray.
something.
Do you have pepper spray?
No. Where do you get pepper spray from?
like any store, they have them at like the as seen on TV aisles. I think you would have had a better chance going down to the police, knocking on the door,
Right?
and then
Yeah.
walking them back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in retrospect, that would be my recommendation.
Well, I was thinking, like, maybe I need to say, because they ask you, do they have a weapon?
And I would just say yes.
I think you just always have to say yes.
I personally have never been to jail, but I had an ex-boyfriend go to jail.
Oh my gosh, did you have to bail him out?
I did not, but he got like pulled over or something driving his truck, and then the cop searched his truck because he was probably being an ass. The ex-boyfriend, not the cop. Maybe both. Who knows? He had brass knuckles in his glove compartment, and that is a felony.
No, is it?
Possession of a dangerous weapon.
What about your kitty knuckles?
Yeah, those are illegal.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna be a felon.
No, because I don't let people see them.
Oh, okay. Don't keep them in your glove box. Are they on your keys?
They are on my keys, but I don't like pull them out on the regular. And if I feel like I need them, I just in my bag put my fingers. What she's talking about is I have a cat-shaped keychain that's made of metal and the ears are pointy. They're called Wildkats. They're a personal self-defense tool. So yeah, I just thread my fingers through it if I'm like walking through a parking lot or something like that at night.
It
Yeah.
makes you feel safe.
Makes me feel safer, like I have something.
And maybe law enforcement will not know. They'll think it's just an adorable cat decoration.
I'm just and then if they're like, why do you have that? I'd be like, it's a cat keychain. What are you talking about?
Mhm.
What do you mean it is a weapon?
I love it.
But yeah, it's fully illegal.
Good to know.
So I do not travel with it.
So, do you feel like pepper spray is the way to go?
I have never carried pepper spray personally because I am too scared that I will set it off in my bag
Correct. I will shoot
or on
it
myself.
into my own eye.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what the answer is.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically don't go anywhere ever.
Right. Buddy system at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize until this episode that I provide a lot of unsolicited, unqualified therapy. But look, if you're going to have a breakdown in front of my house, then I feel like that's just the consequences of your actions. Now you all know, should we run into each other at the grocery store or in a jail cell, I will demand to hear your life story. Fair warning. This track is The Vendetta by Stefan Kartenberg.